them about a crisis. They said it was manufactured. They laughed and they stopped for months. And then it turned out that it wasn't manufactured. It's a crisis. We were right about that. We told them that the detention centers are really full, and they've got to change the loopholes, and they have to change asylum. They have to change the immigration laws. We can do it quickly, but we have no votes to do it because the Democrats won't vote. We need some of their votes. But the New York Times story is a fabrication. Now, I look at things and I saw visually, I had people there that told me the job that they are doing is incredible. And in all cases, if you look, people that came from unbelievable poverty, that had no water, they had no anything, where they came from, those are people that are very happy with what's going on because, relatively speaking, they're in much better shape right now. The Border Patrol and all of the law enforcement that's working on the border, it's incredible what they're doing. They've had to become nurses. They've had to become janitors. They've had to become things that they were never trained to do, all because the Democrats refused to change the loopholes in the asylum laws, the immigration laws. So I think it's a disgrace. And the New York Times is basically a partner with the Democrats, the way I look at it. They should never be allowed to write stories like that. It's just a disgrace. Yeah, the numbers are going down because Mexico is doing a lot. Mexico is building up to over 20,000 soldiers at the border. So the numbers are going down, yes.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.